What's going on YouTube? This is Baker Man coming at you today. Going to be doing a little bit more work on the Magna today, working on making this into a bobber. Nothing too special. I'm just going to be coming in and doing a few more cuts with the grinder and showing you guys what I'm doing to get all of this removed. As I said in the last video, I didn't know which way I was going to go. I've made that decision. So at this point today, I'm going to be coming in and taking out everything that I can on the swing arm here and trying to get rid of some of this here, prop the bike up and put it in a position that I feel it'll be nice to ride. That way, come next video, I can go ahead and start off with the welding and getting things in place. Alright, so just to give you guys a little reminder here, on the side, we're going to be working on getting some of this out here, but the main focus of today is to come in where the swing arm is. I have to leave this shaft cover, so I'm going to go ahead and be taking out this cross member, going to take this one out, and the one on the other side back here. That's going to require me most likely taking the wheel off, probably at this junction here, maybe up here, go ahead and remove the drive shaft and the shaft cover, but needless to say, by the end of the day, I hope to have all of this out of here and just a free-floating back wheel. Here we have a bike that is completely severed in half. So that time lapse wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be, and you may have had some difficulty in seeing some things that I was doing. So let's go over this real quick. The first thing I removed was the rear tire. I took out the axle, slid the tire off the back. Then I come over to the swing arm. There was a support that went across this way and one that came back on the right side of the bike. Here is the square tubing that went across the right side of the bike. I simply just cut it off where I could. The middle support that was at the front, half of it is still on this section and half of it is still on the cover for the drive shaft. Once I got all of this off, then it was just as simple as removing the drive shaft and the cover. That came off really simple, no issues on that. At the end of the time lapse, you saw me fumbling around with the jack over here, a few jack stands, and the bike even fell at one point, but I was able to catch it before it hit the ground. My idea was I was going to jack the bike up, set it on the frame stands, and then take out the center stand, but that didn't work the way I wanted it to, and I'd rather let it sit on the center stand until I can figure out what I'm going to do, get some supports welded in place and the back tire back on. Then I can actually take the center stand out. And for good measure, I took the bells off of the exhaust as well, so if anybody needs these for their project, hit me up and let me know. Now, to expand a little bit on my drive shaft here, I haven't taken this apart, and I've got some diagrams of the exploded view of it, and I've looked it up on paper, but as far as physically taking this apart, I have not. So I want to take my time and do that. Needless to say, I'm going to take this shaft to a machine shop, have them cut it, which I would assume would be in this area, and weld in a 6-inch extension. I don't know the exact way to do that, so I'm not even going to try. They may just completely remachine a whole new piece that's just 6 inches longer. I don't know, but I'm going to let them handle that. By extending the drive shaft, that'll put my rear tire 6 inches further out than what it was, and then I can go in and weld on the supports from the bottom and down here and make the bike actually longer. I do want to keep this cover over the drive shaft. Some people have suggested just putting a longer boot on it. I don't think that's the route I want to go. So what I'm going to have to do is order me another swing arm cover and cut it out and weld it in place to make it longer. So if anybody has one of those they're looking to get rid of, please let me know. The idea for the extension was something that I seen on some of the groups on Facebook and also saw one on YouTube, so I figured bike's going to be down for a while at this point until I can actually get my welder set up in this new shop. So I might as well go ahead and send the drive shaft off and have it machined out while I'm waiting. Alright, so I didn't get as much done today as I would have liked to, but it's hot out here, even with an air conditioner, and I'm already tired. So at this point, the whole back end of the bike is gone. My next step from here is I'm going to be traveling to a machine shop, going to get that drive shaft lengthened to 6 inches is what I'm looking to do. Once I get the drive shaft back, I'll be able to reconnect it, put the back tire in, and set this bike at the stance that I want and go ahead and start welding in some supports. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to know, leave it in the comments section below. I'll be sure to get to each and every one that I can. I'll also leave a link in the description to this particular playlist. This is the second video in the playlist so far, so if you go back and check out the first one, it's a little bit longer, but not only do I show some of the cuts that I make and some material that I remove on this bike, but I also go over a lot of the plans for this bike. So make sure you go check that out, like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.